Hello, everybody. What's going on? It's PR Corey here with another presentation. What I'm going to be talking about and briefing on today is the overall meaning behind 45 degrees, which I had, some thoughts and things that I haven't really outlaid. I haven't really made a full video on this at all, really. But it's just the overall meaning behind 45 degrees. And I'm going to just outlay that real quick for people. So my meaning or my reasoning, my main reasoning behind doing this is, of course, with the project that I'm working on. And then, of course, the fact that I've made this discovery myself, and the name of my channel is 45 Degrees Discovery, 45 Degree Discovery. I feel it's only right for me to explain it in, small depth, at least, what the overall meaning of it is. So I'm going to go to the internet real quick and, so the first thing I want people to think about is this right here. You can see every home usually, of course, you see it's different types of fences. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm drawing myself behind the background of my project, my discovery that I've made. You can see this type of pattern going on. Okay, I was drawing the front of a Masonic lodge as well that had the 45 degree pattern in front of it. But I just want people to think about this particular fence right here. This is, if you ask what type of fence is the main fence that people use, I'm pretty sure most people can agree that this fence right here is the main fence that people use across the world to, and apply to their homes and everything. What I'm doing is fencing off. It's a protection symbol. It's a symbol of protection. If you look into what the Tetragrammaton even is, it even was said, not to, I didn't really want to bring that up, but for the gist of it, the Tetragrammaton was actually said to be a symbol of protection overall. Now, I find that kind of funny, that both of them have their links together that I've shown. My work is directly related to the Tetragrammaton in so many ways. But this is a symbol of protection. Okay. Fortification. So when I've said in the past, I've brought up the fact of fortify and 45, that word. So what does fortify mean? The word fortify in the dictionary means to provide a place with defensive works as protection against attack. Add spirits to wine to make. Okay, and we're not talking about that one. The first one is what we're talking about, to provide a place with defensive works as against attack. All right. So that's what I'm saying. So to the people who think that it's negative, or I'm doing it for, they or question what type of purposes I'm doing what I'm doing for overall, you really got to look into what I'm saying right now. So with the word fortify, I went over forts in the past. Now I hear a lot of people now that it's trendy. A lot of people are bringing up star forts. Well, that was something I brought up way in the past, but actually somebody brought it up to me, first. So shout out to them on this channel. That was like a year and a half ago. So we was already on the Star Force thing. I was introduced to that. Our work very similarly looks to it. Now, when y'all hear the term, I'm gonna relay to a different uh, sector of what I'm talking about. When you look at a chaos star, I don't know how many of y'all have heard of it. This is what a chaos star is, as you can see right here. It's an 8-pointed star, basically. Well, not a, yeah, 8-pointed star. Well, not really an 8-pointed star. It's a star, yeah, but really it's just arrows emitting from one direction. Basically a compass with arrows on it, all right? Okay. So you can see it's 45 degrees, basically. Thank you. Hold on. So you can see it's separated into 45 degrees. How do I know this? Because at the end of the day, what's a 90-degree angle? We all should know what 180 degrees is. That's a straight line. Well, if you cut that in half, you get 90, which is 4 90-degree angles. What's half of 90? 45. So I know most people don't really eye 45 degrees like that, but it's pretty easy to eye, really easy. The angles, all of this is tying in together. Seriously, the angles of an octagon. Okay. The outside, the exterior angles of an octagon are at 135 degrees. I went over this numerology in the past as far as the angles of a compass, not compass, but yeah, the angles of a compass actually. But dividing up the sectors of a compass, it's all separated into 4.5 sections, dealing with the numbers 4 and 5. Whenever you add the first two numbers, you're going to get 4. And the last number is always going to be 5 with that 4 and 5 aspect. So yeah, you got 45 right there for the exterior angles, 4 and 5 being expressed right there. But if you notice, the interior angles, which would make this 8-pointed star, as you can see, is confirming that what I just said is 45 degrees. So that's 45, and that also, which the world doesn't really know like that. They don't realize that anything 135, 225, 315, um, um, I know I missed one. Of course, 45. 135 is right here, and I know I'm missing one, but for the sake of it, I'm gonna move on from that. Um, so yeah, you got that aspect being expressed all throughout this octagonal type of stuff. The octagon is very frequently used in the past. If you look into Leonardo da Vinci, it's actually a huge PDF that I just discovered um, and came across and everything. Not well, yeah, came across, but a huge PDF about him on the octagon. Okay, and his application of geometry with it. So you got that right there. So we're gonna go back to the chaos star. What I want people to realize is that, of course, you hear that name, and most people will think scary. They'll get scared behind it. Do I indulge in any type of magic? I do not. I do not. 100% do not. So right here, this chaos star aspect is also another apparent apparently another word for chaos magic is result-based magic. Result-based magic, basically. And we all should be able to comprehend what results means as far as result-based magic. So that's probably part of why y'all see when I'm looking to the sky, the numbers 4 and 5, the aspects of, well, or you could have looked into the sky when I was telling y'all to, the aspect of the conjunction 4 and 5, which was a result. Um, the inverse square law, which was a result of my work. I've got nothing but results countless times over and over again. I felt nothing but confidence with me working and doing what I'm doing over and over again. That's why I feel very assured with even telling, or part of why at least I know, of course, a little bit more in depth behind the success factor of what I'm doing than everybody else who listens to me, of course. But that's part of why I've succeeded in doing what I'm doing, and success awaits me upon finishing this huge project. So now, what's my point in bringing this up with the chaos and order out of chaos, which you have heard the Freemasons say, or not, well, yeah, Freemason / the dollar bill, you know what I mean. So with order out of chaos, you see the, of course, 33rd degree symbolism. Hold on, man, I gotta pee. Real talk. How did this do this? Let me rewind this back. All right, hold on. Okay, I'm back. And yeah, regarding this 45 degrees, with the square and I was hoping, yeah, the square and compass would pop up, but it really ain't nothing being shown right here too much as far as in relation to what I'm saying specifically. But I went over in the past the meaning of order out of chaos. Things order out of chaos. And when something comes out of something, that means that it starts from something. So if we said that, you know, let's who's somebody famous that everybody know, Obama out of mama. If we say Obama out of mama, we know that that means that Obama came out of mama. He came from mama. So when you say order out of chaos, it's order coming out of chaos. That means that chaos is first and order is to be concluded from that and made out of that chaos. What we perceive in this world is nothing but chaos. We trying to create order. So that shows exactly what I'm saying. Um, and order is when you're trying to create order, you're trying to get results. So I just wanted to show that real quick and go back to the octagon real quick and chaos star. Symbol of chaos. The symbol of chaos originates from Michael Moorcock's Eternal Champion series and its dichotomy of law and chaos. And in them, the symbol of chaos compromises 8 arrows in a radial pattern. In contrast, the symbol of law is a single upright arrow. Okay. So I wanted to show that real quick right there for the tense of this. Okay, with the chaos star. Think about a grid, everything that I've been saying about the grid. Uh, Now, when I say security and protection, this is what I'm saying. Uh, 45. What color is 4 and 5 on my work? Think about that. It's red. One thing that protects us every single day that y'all use that's shaped like an octagon, and all of this stuff is not by chance, is a stop sign. If you do not stop at a stop sign, which what does a fence do? It stops you, right? Everything, every little thing that I'm saying right now is all coming together. You just have to have the mind to comprehend it. You have to have the mind for it. Everything about that I'm saying literally comes together. I just showed the octagon, the chaos star, what they call the chaos star. But if you just look at a chaos star and just have a stooped low mind, a one-track mind, and can't think evolve, you just gonna sit up there and look at a chaos star and say, anything that's 45 degrees must mean chaos. Okay. What about your compass? Is that chaos? Your chaos gives you order. So look at the compasses or compass, I mean, navigational. So you see the compass, this is basically the chaos star. Okay. What they call the chaos star. 8 spokes, 45 degrees. Okay. So that's 45 degrees right there, 8 spokes. That is the chaos star, but does it get you lost? No, it doesn't. It creates what? It's showing order. It's creating order for you because it's showing you where the order is, the order of directions. Okay. So back to the stop sign. When you think about that, a stop sign stops you from hitting oncoming traffic, from running out into traffic, from running out into danger. It stops you from running out into danger. Okay. It stops people basically. It protects you. It's a security factor. If there was no stop sign somewhere, you would just run through it, right? I mean, that's common, and you could possibly have a wreck and mess yourself up bad and or not even be here at all. This is just fact based. What's another example that I can think of that I could show you all? This is a home security sign. Most of your home security places, for what reason is it that they have something that looks like or that is an octagon, 45 degrees? I'm not saying that 45 degrees is what they're thinking. I'm showing the underlying meaning of it. The reality, the overall let me rewind back past it. Yeah, X that out basically. So like I said, all of them, of course, are not, but we can see out of here the majority are. We see the main. If we basically counted all of these and did a percentage, we only got 2 of these, and we got 3 octagons right there. And anywhere you look for most of them, you will see an octagon. Ring is actually a mostly used one. Now protected by ring, octagon. Okay, so you could fit the compasses within this. You could fit the chaos star right in the middle, and it'll come out right on perfect. It's an equilateral / congruent octagon. All right. So if you think about that, and like I said, fortify. Like I said, what is a fort? What is the purpose of a fort? A fort is a place that's made strong and secure enough to be defended during a war. Although it's usually a military word, you can also make a fort with chairs and a blanket to defend against annoying little siblings. Okay. Why are forts built? Forts are the forts were constructed in order to influence people, showcase the wealth, power, and glory of a king. Okay. And kings had to be protected. Okay. Fortify, 45. Okay. That's why I showed y'all Mario forts. And the whole game is him going up steps that are 45-degree angles, jumping over 45, the steps that look like what I'm drawing out. So fortification, I'm just showing the whole meaning behind that overall. And of course, we saw images of a fort. We saw a star fort right here. It had one already there for it to be seen. So that's a star fort. You see this right here. I mean, it looks just like the thing from Mario. So that's, and I did a video in the past where I confirmed that that's actually a fort that he goes into and he teleports to different worlds. So it might even be more information about these forts than we know. Militaries usually do have secrets of information. So I just wanted to show that overall. I didn't want to make this a long video at all, but I did want to show this and, just go over this real briefly. When you looked at that wire fence, I'm talking about the broadly used one, this one right here, the one that's used at schools, the one that's used on prisons, the ones that's used at homes. This is what's used right here mainly. Of course, there's other fencing. You can see it right there, obviously, but this is the main wire fencing that's used, and it's at 45 degrees. Um, even a wine, and that was crazy, even hearing that fort. Let me go back to that definition. Actually, I'm gonna show y'all something. I just thought about something. 40. I did not mean to do that. Fort definition. Okay. What the heck? What was the definition that I just looked up that had some for 0.45 seconds? That's crazy. I just looked up something that mentioned wine. I can't remember what definition it was I looked up. I thought fort was the only definition I looked up. So I got to go back and find what that was because it got to do with this. Goodness. Fortify. Okay, see, add spirits to wine to make port, sherry, or similar drink. So I just wanted to see it and see exactly what it said because I didn't finish the definition. So add spirits to wine. So it's obviously a verb, fortify. Of course, fortify is a verb. But I wanted to show this real quick with dealing with wine. A wine, and there you already know it. Wine racks are all mainly all man. I can almost say all. Of course, you got somebody creative out there probably, but most of them are at 45 degrees. Check this out. It's based on the square turned to a diagonal of 45 degrees. This one here, this one here, based on 45 degrees. So it's just something else, even seeing them say that about or mentioning wine with 45, fortify that definition. There's another. I just click on different things to show people the impact of. Dang, that one ain't gonna work either. Of what I'm saying that is legit, no flaws. There's one that breaks, or is that 45 degrees? Yep, that's 45 degrees. I'm very advanced at or used to picking it out. If you mirrored this right here to make a perfect square, that's a fact. Okay. So that's 45 degrees right there. And then of course this one goes from corner to corner. If I drew a vertical, not vertical, horizontal line parallel to the bottom right here, straight across, it'll make a square. That's 45 degrees. So it is. Um, and there's another one, 45 degrees. I mean, they just all through it. Anybody who has a wine rack in their house or been inside of a mansion, it's 45 degrees there. Most, most of your most of your bathroom patterns, your guard rails, all of this stuff gonna have 45 degrees aspect to it. It's dealing with fortification, fortifying oneself. Okay, security. So that's overall the meaning. 5 degrees. That's the overall meaning of 45 degrees. And I think that that's quite awesome. So basically, what I'm doing, and when you look into symbols and everything like that, when it comes down to it, it's all about intent. I know a lot of these guys out here write about or talk about spells and different words and stuff like that. But the intent that's radiated from the heart and the mind, that's what matters at the end of the day. If you look into something called sigils as well, I'm gonna actually pull that up. Sigils, there's the magic square right there. That's one thing dealing with it. Sigils, ciphers, and scripts. So these are things that people who are into the occult and witchcraft and stuff, of course, they justify and get into. I'm not telling anybody to get into that, and I for sure ain't into it. But sometimes you can be walking a line and not know it. That's close to what you're even trying to stay away from. All I know, like I said, is the intent and the heart is what matters. The intent I'm putting into my work is nothing but to come from it. So you can see different aspects of sigils and stuff like that, man. It's uh, but really more than a sigil, what it looks like, to be honest, more than a sigil, what it looks like. It looks like a seal. Trying to find a specific one. Like this right here is one of them. It's really the magic square seals that I'll be looking or have looked at in the past. There's another one right there. Solomon's seal is what that's called. So my work is similar to a seal. And what does a seal do? Especially that one right there. I know what that one is. I know what that one is. See, that's why I clicked on that one. There's another one. And there's another one. See, these all deal with what I'm talking. Another one. Even somatics. This is a somatic pattern. These are somatic patterns. So these seals that people call demonic and things, these are somatic patterns. A lot of them. That's real talk. In any somatic pattern, of course, you know that there's a certain word that creates the vibration. So seal. Seals are used primarily to authenticate documents, specifically those which come from which carry some legal import. Okay. There are two main way. Okay. a seal. A device or substance that is used to join two things together as to prevent them from coming apart or to prevent anything from passing between them. So think about that like a fence. If a fence is not conjoined together and everything, you can get through it. That's if there's any break in a fence at all, you can get through it if it's big enough, if you can fit through it. If basically what I'm getting at is a fence is sealed. So a seal itself is something of like a form of protection. I'm getting at a fasten or close securely. So it's dealing with security. Excuse me. So yeah. Yeah, man. I think that should do it, man, just to show what the overall meaning behind 45 degrees is dealing with protection. Of course, there are other things that I'm looking into because I'm not a biased person, just because I'm very proud of myself with my work. But if I found out that it was negative and it was something that was bad overall, 100% bad, I would put it down. That's just a fact. But I have not come across something like that that shows me that it's 100% bad or that it's just scary and needs to be stayed away from. The closest things to that are, like I said and shown in the past, the Osiris aspect of everything. And you know that Osiris is linked to the underworld. Okay. The shaft of Osiris literally is at 45 degrees. But it ain't just the shaft, the whole pyramid lineup is lined up with Orion. But people miss over the fact that it's based on, of course, it's spirals, but it's based on a square of 45 degrees. The line from one pyramid to the next at the Great Pyramids is 45 degrees. Whoa, perfectly. And the last pyramid, of course, is offset from the 45-degree line. Let me see. Uh, top view. Dang it. To think about the fact that every last pyramid that you can think of, like y'all bring up, the pyramids, the Great Pyramid is at 45 degrees. Okay, they're not showing a diagram that I need to see of all three of them from the top. So there it is. Okay, there's one. So this shows it right here. How can you find a 45-degree aspect? Here's a square. Here's the line right here from this corner for a perfect 40. This is a square. When you get on top of the Great Pyramid, it makes a perfect square, separated into 8 sections, which is a 45-degree, continuum. So right there, you got from that corner. If you go to the next corner, there's 45 degrees. No, you can't no arguing behind it. And then continue to follow that line, and it goes to this corner. That makes a square. That's 45 degrees because it's from corner. There's the corner, and then it's still on the corner. So if you stay on that line, it's not deviating from that line, proving that it's at 45 degrees. So these first two are at 45, and then this one stops at the corner. It shoots over to the corner that little bit. Okay. For the 45, off of the 45-degree line, and makes like a spiral. Basically, you see 3 pyramids up here in the front on this end. But if you spiral around to this side, think about how what I've been showing with my work is that let me plug this up real quick. When I'm showing y'all my work, it continues to zoom in. So that's why what I have is I'm very, very confirmative that I have the real ley lines of the earth. I'm not even playing without me having to use any type of devices and stuff like that. The fact that your compass, the directions of it shows the ley lines in a way itself. The ley lines would have to be, if that's the if the compass is picking up on magnetic energy, and what directions or what sectors, degree sectors, is it separated into? It's not separated into a 5-point star. If magnetism, basically what I'm getting at is what makes the compass work? The fact of magnetism. Okay. So it picks up on this magnetic energy, which is making obviously some type of energetic motion, in a linear motion that leads you to a center point. If it was not based on 45-degree measurements, the compass would be separated into a different amount of angles. If it was separated into the 5-point star aspect, like they, with the ley lines that they do show, it's the dodecahedron, actually, 5-point star, and then the dodecahedron, then we would not, we would have a 5-point star on a compass that would be guiding us our direction. Something that's 5 points or 10 points, something like that. That's not the case. So what I'm getting at is, if I go back to my work, which I really didn't want to do, I didn't really want to go into my drive like that, to be honest, because I tend to extend stuff a little longer than I want to. But yeah, it's crazy how they. So this is another picture of the Great Pyramids right here. Angle to angle, you can see that this corner, this will make a square going right there. Perfect 45-degree angle. Now, anyway, what I'm getting at is, if you zoom in, Mark Noster, I appreciate you, bro. J Maya, I appreciate you. Nikki C, I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you, people. Let me see. At, hold up. That's why I should have had it already. Had all of this stuff already together, man. I need to turn that tip thing off too. So yeah, what I'm saying is, when you zoom in, hold on. Okay, my bad. What I'm getting at, okay, now think about what I just explained about the pyramids, and we know that they're set up on some type of some magnetic energy. Ley lines is what they call them. What I'm saying and showing people is that when you see the pyramids, that's why y'all hear other teachers like Sanchez tell y'all these pyramids were symbolizing what the earth looked like. That's why you don't see any depictions of the earth from the ancient and what it looked like, because the pyramids is showing what it looked like. Okay. So if that's the case, and this is also confirmed by, if you look up Mayan cosmology, I promise you ain't gonna get anything that's too short from this right here in front of you. So what I'm saying is, through my discovery, when you look at a globe, everything from every angle looks the same. When you look at a sphere, it's never gonna look any different. There are not too many shapes that you can even do that with. 3D shapes, not too many. Because let me see. A square, a cube, is one of them. A pyramid, not gonna work. A 3-sided pyramid at that, not gonna work. I'm trying to think of everything that I could think, of course, and on up past that is just not gonna work. because you have to fill in with other shapes, squares, and up to fill in that. That's why they have it called dodecahedron. And the ley lines of the earth, on when you look into the ley lines that they give you based on a globe, they have to fill it in with two different shapes. It's a 5-pointed star as well as a 10-point, what they call a dodecahedron. If I'm saying the name of it, because I know deca is, uh, yeah, dodecahedron. But anyway, what I'm getting at specifically is if the ley lines would look like what we see. Of course, they would sync with the compass. Period, 100%. Um, and this right here would be the center of the Earth in its own way. Okay, the center aspect, the North Pole aspect of what people are talking about. That's why this looks very much like the Mercator map. If you look at the Mercator map and did an overlay on this, it looks like the square version of it, man. So, what I'm getting at specifically is when it comes down to these ley lines, I dang it, I was getting ready to say something important, man. I hate when I forget what I'm getting ready to say. I hate when that happens, man. But oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Think about this. Now, I'm saying that this is a symbol of the earth. That's why this, what do they call geometry? The compass is a square for the Freemasons. They say that it means different things. God, geometry. Some of them say it means geometry. You know, different gnosis, different things. All of that is right here. This is dealing with what God. This has been around. God created this, not me, to be real. This is a creation of God. It just took me, obviously, to put it into tangibility for people to be able to see it. Because without drawing this out, guess what? People wouldn't be able to get it. It's something that either has to be put into a computer or drawn out. And that's why I'm drawing it out, because drawing it out, that's the first step besides putting in, actually making a pyramid. So drawing it out, that solidifies it to me. A computer, them ain't going to be around forever. Once the electricity goes out, what happens to the knowledge? It all gets wiped off of the internet. That's why you see me doing something tangible, so that it can be known for history, just like Leonardo da Vinci and all other great artists who were worth millionaires, worth millions. Their stuff is still left behind. But what I'm getting at specifically is if this is a symbol of the earth and this is a fractal pattern, a universal code dealing with 45, 432 hertz, I've already shown and proved how 432 hertz deals with 4 and 5 that I've been talking about and discovered, which is the universal code. What do they call? Freemasons call there's the great architect of the universe. The great architect. This is architecture. This is literally architecture, an architectural blueprint. That's what I've really been trying to stress this to people to get that. Y'all don't even realize that they use mandalas actually to build a lot of temples in the past. Y'all don't realize that those were architectural blueprints themselves, a mandala. So what I'm getting at is this is the blueprint right here, while people end up probably thinking I'm playing games. This is literally this is what the pyramids is going to look like. Of course, I can go into detail and create like a 3D model and things like that. But this is, every blueprint has to have a layout, every architectural build has to have a blueprint / layout. Now, specifically what I'm getting at, and the reason why I mentioned that this is a shape that very similar to the globe, it's amazing when you look at it from every angle, especially if you take the color away, take the color aspect out of what I've done, and then you can see what I'm saying. Especially with the if you got on top, it would be 4 squares in the center, and it'd be two at every edge. If you got right up here on top and looked at 4 and 5 from the top up here, you would see 0 and 9, and the other side on that, it would be 0 and 9. 0 and 9 on the other side. And same thing for down here. Everything would basically have 4 corners, no matter what. If this is right here in the front, protruding out, because this right here is protruding. That's what a lot of y'all have to realize too. These points in the center this is not just flat. This is protruding. This is energy rising up into the sky. Okay, just like a pyramid, basically. This is the tip of the pyramid, the point at the top. So what I'm getting at specifically is that That's why these pyramids are all built, all of them built with 45 degrees aspects to them. Chichen Itza, Teotihuacan, Great Pyramids of Giza, all of them, 45 degrees aspect added to it. And what I'm saying is, if this is the earth, and when you look at it from any angle, if you looked at the ground, if you looked at this symbol from a top, up here where the all-seeing eye would be up here at the top, Hebrew Cosmos says that God is up here in this area. If you were in that God view looking down, what you would see specifically is what you're looking at right here. If you looked up from right here and you was on the ground where we live at and you looked up, this is where God's eye would be at, because you'll see 4 and 5 in the center. Okay. Except 4 and 5 would be up there at the top instead of 0 and 9. You'll be looking up at 4 and 5 as the big squares in the center, which symbolizes and shows what? 4 and 5 dealing with God, the Most High. 4 and 5 is the Most High, literally, no matter what. If you continue to zoom in, it's always 4 and 5 at the top, because 0, I can't zoom in too much more, god dang. I wish I could. That ain't a good one to even choose. But just think about, like I've shown with the marijuana plant aspect of reality. Like, this is my marijuana diagram, and this is science. This is based on real science. If you grow a marijuana plant, people, I'm not playing with you. It's gonna grow through this science, no matter what. Now, you got some little plants that's stubborn and they'll have some defects, of course. Some might even grow some weird leaves, but it's a fact that these grow marijuana grows 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And sometimes it'll get 11, but the odd number rule. And it starts to fractal off. You can't start cloning weed until it gets to this level, which is its adult stage, when it has 5 fingers. That's a fact. After that, that's when it's wise to start cloning, which is why you see these branches start cloning off right here. But what's my point behind bringing this up? Things invert. You have something that's called vegetation, and then later on you have harvest. So if I created an invert diagram of this, which would be the budding phase, that's when it starts to bud. That's when your Fibonacci comes in, which is also based on the square. When you look at a marijuana bud, it's literally shaped like a pine cone. They're the same exact sacred geometry. Okay, so at the end of the day, that's based on the square, the Fibonacci. Okay. And what I'm saying is, with 4 and 5, if you could picture this inverted, and up here at the top, 4 and 5 would be up here in this area where there's all 4.5 right here is that all seeing odd, the triangle right there, 4.5 in the center. 4 and 5, half a 9, 4.5, 45-degree angle. 4 sides to this. Every time y'all see me make this diagram, it's 4-sided like a square, but how many squares is on each 4 side, which is what a lot of y'all miss too. 5 of them. 5 by 4-sided, 5 squares each side, no matter what. And so 45 up here at the top, when you go up there, if it was flipped and up there at the top in this budding time, when you look at weed, when it grows up at the top, the leaves at the bottom are all super big. When it starts to bud, the leaves are super big. But as it grows up, if you look at the new buds that are growing in as it's growing, because every night it grows, if you've ever done it or looked into videos where people have done it to study it, the weed literally is smaller. It's a smaller version up there at the top than it is at the bottom. Just like 4 and 5 grows smaller and smaller, it's always the Most High up there at the top on my work when you look into the zoom aspect of it. What I'm saying is this right here. I can't zoom in as much as I can or want to, desire to. But based on what you see right here alone, if 4 and 5 is right here at the top of it, if you turned this 45 degrees and you looked at this 0 right here, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 and 5 is in the center. 4 and 5 is in the center. It's at the top center. 4 and 5 at the top center. We counting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 and 5 would be right up here at the top. Now, if you zoomed in on that 4 and 5, guess what? 4 and 5 would still be at the top up there, spiraling. it'll start spiraling at the top. It starts to spin literally on my work. How do I? Because I'm the one working on it. I'm literally working on it right now. I just took the time to do this video. I'm on 4 and 5 right now, and at the bottom, I'm down here at the bottom. I'm 4 and 5. I'm right here in this section. If y'all wonder where I'm at as far as working, I'd be right here. And 4 and 5, literally down there, is at the bottom, and it spirals. Okay. So I'm at the section where I could literally, if I wanted to keep this project going and make 4 sides of it, but that'll take me 10 years. I already did the calculation. At the least, it'll take me 10 years to do it. This big one I'm finishing this year, and then and then do 3 more. It'll take me about 10 years to finish that. And the eye right here would be free. It would be freaking huge. I'm literally looking at it right now to be huge. I could put anything, a whole full-blown picture could be drawn, a whole nother picture, another world. But I'm not doing that. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and do what I gotta do because I gotta amp it up in life. I got other things that I need to handle and do. But success awaits me. That's all the people need to know. That's all the people need to know at this point. And one man did this all by himself, man. One man did this all by himself, and that's what's so amazing. That's what's so amazing, man. I kick the knowledge. I'm talented, and as well, I'm a very hardworking person, whether I'm on camera or not. I just I ain't ever like to feel like a slave. I ain't ever like to feel like I'm working for nothing. So I don't like to be on camera and people see me working and stuff. They don't want to contribute or have at least the decency, to drop a comment when they know behind the camera. They like, man, this nigga cold. They can't even type that in the comment section, but they'll do it for somebody else though. You know what I mean? So I just stick to myself, continue to work hard and stay focused. And it's taking me great places. And that's all that really matters. But everything that y'all see with my work, man, is observable within nature. And that's just 100% fact. So let me see if it's some weed within here. Cannabis in 45 degrees. A weed plant that's budded to see what I'm saying. Show what I'm saying. There go one. How far can I zoom? So this is the bud and phase of it. As you can see down here, all of the plant leaves, the fingers and everything is huge down here. Huge. Some of them bigger than your hand. That's just a fact. And as you zoom in, if you could continue to zoom in, it's just like the Mandelbrot set, which you continue to zoom in and it would be super small. It would never stop going. And that's literally what is going on right there. And with my work, that's why I've told y'all as well that the Mandelbrot set and mine is synonymous. If Mandelbrot's stuff is correct, mine is, because his is basically the computer version of mine based on a curve, though, based on the curve. I can't do as much as, of course, a computer can, but what I can tell y'all is, let me pull this back and go to the internet real quick. We are all in one accord with you. We have been discussing the squares. That's good. That's good. Good deal. That's what creates order. That's what the square symbolizes is order. Foundation. Let me see. Okay, line of the Great Pyramids. Dang it, what was I about to pull up? Dang, I just forgot that quick. Hold it. What? Golly, I forgot. Man, that's what I was about to do. That's right. Okay. Now, this is what I was saying. The Great architect of the universe. You have different drawings of it, of course, different depictions of it. But right here, this one specifically, this was created in the year of 1205. I want you all to take a very let me see, I'm trying to, dang man, can't get this thing right. All right, right here you can see this thing. It looks weird. Yeah. Golly, man. You can see this thing right here, and you see, of course, what looks like Jesus. He looks very much like Jesus. He has a compass type of thing going on in the background of his head as usual. But you can see this thing right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna zoom out. Memorize that, please. And that was made in 1205, mind you. And look at that. This is the Mandelbrot set. Literally. So that's that. And if I could find one that's turned more so the same exact direction, it'll make it that more easy to see. But I think that that's right on point, legit. It's almost the same colors. So you got that one, and then you got this right here. A big circle right there with another small circle with some weird stringy arms coming from it. Same exact thing, a circle, and then another weird with an indention right there, a type of thing going on. So something, how could something create something like that? Because this was the Mandelbrot set cannot be created without a computer. That's a fact. It took a computer to find that out. So computers had to just, excuse me, computers had to have existed longer than we know. Um, so yeah, I mean that's literally almost a mirror image. It ain't perfect, but it's obviously the same thing being communicated. And all I'm getting at is that they both express the same math underlying. His just went way more in depth than mine ever could as a human being. His went into the curved aspect of reality. There's a lot of things that you can see in life that looks like this. I mean, when a woman arch her back and you look at her from behind, it looks like that. Um, this, this this part right here, you know. So I mean, this right here is a scarab beetle as well. Kind of looks like that, but there's many different things this looks like. But uh, mine specifically goes more into crystals, which is definitive stuff that you can pick up in reality and stuff. So it starts off from something like this, circles and stuff. But this all, as you can see, is based on the grid. This is how it's created. The Mandelbrot set, literally, it's pixels basically. That's all it is. Going into exactly what I've been saying about reality. So that's what I wanted to show y'all is that the Mandelbrot set, and what I'm doing is the same thing as well, just for that real quick. But when you look at these pyramids and everything, it's all on this grid that I'm drawing out, and I'm gonna go back to my stuff and lay it out, and I'm done. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Uh, Now, what I was saying to conclude is that with me explaining all of that, if you could see like a crystal ball, like you can see through a crystal ball, imagine this being because this is literally a crystal lattice. If you look up a crystal lattice, this syncs right with that, literally, especially a diamond. But if you think about this being see-through and depicting something see-through, when you look at like I said, this is what we looking at now with this zero, not because that if I highlight this and say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is looking at it from a side view as well. Well, all of it, this was weird, man, because it's all looking at it from the same view. That's what's so crazy about it. Oh, I just got rocked, bro. Hold on. Shit. I feel dizzy as a mug, bro, out of nowhere. What's going on? Whoa. don't know what that was about, but anyway, okay, so if this right here is 0, 9, 0 and 9, this is this is the sky view. So we looking from, this is me, this is the ground right here that we looking at, literally the ground. But it could be the sky as well. If you viewed the sky, it would turn from 0 and 9 at the bottom, which is at the bottom right here on the ground. You would be looking at 4 and 5 in the center instead for the depiction of the top. And at the end of the day, what I'm saying when it comes to the Great Pyramids and this lineup and this being the real layout slash the electromagnetic lines, when I finish this, everything gets cut up into eighths. Everything gets cut up into eighths. So everything gonna be cut 8 ways, just like the chaos star was shown, just like the octagon. And what I'm saying is, if you could zoom in to the lowest level, you would go into where the these small squares basically right here. Once you got small enough, if you zoom in, guess what it'll be? It'll be a pyramid. you, you get what I'm getting at possibly now, folks? It'll be a pyramid. That's where that would be our reality, us on the ground. So the pyramid, of course, would line up. It would basically fill in one of these squares. If you get what I'm saying, the shape of it overall would fill in. The geometry would be 45 degrees, put on a line that lines up with what I'm talking about as far as this real grid. And it would mimic the real grid. So that it literally, and that's what this literally does. When you cut it up into 8 sections, that's what you'll see is the Great Pyramid. So when you zoom in to the lowest level as possible, or whatever level would sync up with the scale to the earth, because when you zoom out of the earth, that's what I showed in the past. It wasn't my video, but they showed this scale of when you zoom out of reality, with the universes within universes, the solar system, uh, all the way zooming down to to the microcosm, our skin and stuff, all based on tens, literally, the decimal system. Zooming has everything to do with this. So I just wanted to my bad. So I just wanted to relay that real quick, because I've been thinking about that a lot. That's exactly what this is. This is I'm so legitly uh man, I'm concrete with it. Straight up. I'm just concrete with it, man. This is the real ley lines of the earth. I would say that. And sometimes you gotta press something in order for people to look the way to it. If you don't press something a little bit more than where people might think it is, they might look over it, but I'm gonna have to start pressing that, because I usually don't press things that I don't 100% be able to show on camera, show evidence for 100%. I can't pull up these ley lines and pull up every ley line of the earth and see the whole earth myself. So that's what I'm saying on that. But I am showing the math that syncs up 100%. And the pyramids that everybody, a lot of people worship, but a lot of people love, they are based on 45 degrees, four-sided for a reason, four-sided and 1.4 plus 1 equaling 5. So anyway, I'm not trying to string this out. I'm very detailed with my work. And I'm gonna let this one end here. Thank you to everybody who came through. Until next time, y'all stay safe. Peace out.